get my mama's new whip, new crib. Tell your shawty listen from the city, from the sticks. And no matter where I throw it, yeah, she know it's gon' stick. Shawty isn't me, no babe. Shawty isn't me, no, yeah. Isn't me, isn't me, or no. Isn't me, or no. Isn't me, or no. Isn't me, or no. Heard about it, let me get it on T. And you know I'm holding out for the G60. That she wanna Louis and a VV. Riding around the CGCD. Know you heard about it, let me get it on T. And you know I'm holding out for the G60. All the greed and the lust, cause you want a piece of the pie. All that shit is bleeding me dry. I don't want your piece in the rest. Hold it down for me. These act like bitches all the time. These days I ain't even gon' lie, don't let me down. I've been throwing these hundreds on a dime. Spent 7 on that, bring no wedding vows. All that smoking made me tired. 22's a call it Tyra and Mariah. Talk about my lows and all my highs. Been trying to see the light, this shit is quiet. All the greed and the lust, cause you want a piece of the pie. All that shit is bleeding me dry. I don't want your piece in the rest. Girl, I'm in your CGCD. Know you heard about it, let me get it on T. And you know I'm holding out for the G60. That she wanna Louis and a VV. Riding around the CGCD. Know you heard about it, let me get it on T. And you know I'm holding out for the G60. Yeah, they ain't never got it with a dog like me. How we got cheddar singing dog right me. Gotta keep it settled, gotta keep it low key. Money like me, money like me. Bitch, I'm in the city with a coke fiends. How they talking money when the money don't speak? Money in his knee, but like it came from the street. Shawty in Vienna, gotta get it with me. Shawty know, gotta know, only know I'm like that. Set, straight back to the crib, switch cars, I'm right back. Left, and he knows that he can't. I didn't go left, no, when I move way to left, yeah. Shawty won't slide, try to know me. I can never get it too close, me. Cause she heard I got it on me, yeah. Couldn't pull it up like me, shit. Now she tryna load up my phone, shit, I'm in the booth going ghost, now they heard I got it on me, yeah. Now they hear I got it on me.
Good morning, Discord. Good morning, YouTube. Let's get into it. Okay, so we had the CPI report come back. It came back positive, hence the spike up in the morning. But we do see a sell-off. So what I did notice as well is that if you look at the daily chart, we are at the top of the Bollinger Band. So maybe this was a liquidity grab from the top of the Bollinger Band for a little pullback. We have had a few days of a rally here. So let's see what we got today. Let's see. So we're about to test our first key level here. Okay. Ooh, FOMO starting to set in for the puts. We went underneath VWAP. Oh man, that FOMO setting in now. Okay. Let's see if we target that. Oh, the FOMO, look at it.
Yeah, set a 4x4 for G6, this baby shit for me. 100,000, couple M's don't make a G. Pass me in my bag and put that 40 right on my leg. Yeah. always day, yeah. Shawty, wish you stay. I'm about to cut up 25 for my lane. I told him my ceiling is a move it to the bank, yeah. And you know they're tryna lay down with the man. Way out with the man. Right now I'm with the man.
All right, let's see how deep this pulls back. So yesterday we did the exercise. Well, I sent out some messages. Here's how we're going to try to use that to our advantage today. What we want to see is if we're going to form a shoulder, a head, and maybe another shoulder somewhere in here. So we're gonna be on the lookout for this right here, for this head and shoulders that I see. Okay. I was about to pull the trigger on a put somewhere down here. But I didn't. I restrained myself. I held back. I know, I restrained. I was gonna risk it for the biscuit. All right, but we'll stick to the plan. We're gonna wait for deep structure. We want everything to be clear. We want to manage our risk appropriately. Let's see if we get a continue. Oh wait, jeez. Let's see if we get. I was just gonna draw the continuation. Let's see if it digs down to this key level right here. Let me make some of these algos. All right, if you took that bolt down, I believe the profit target's 602.57. Alright, so if you're quick enough to react to that bolt down, profit target's coming up soon, unless you want to hold for longer, but yeah, the risk to reward on that is tiny. Let's just wait let's give it at least our 15-minute rule. Let the market settle so we can figure out some type of direction. If it wants to rebound, let's see if we get above VWAP like that. We gotta let this clear up. Let's let all this clear up, because there's no pattern here yet. If it wants to taper, it's going to look like that.
I learned some things. And taught a nigga how to earn your trust. I'm not concerned with them, I know you hurt some things. Look, I ain't perfect, I'm hurting, babe. That make two of us the way you purchase things. The surface level not serving us. I gotta let you in so you don't touch things. The way I meant, and may I vent. Base up things you post online, I can't help but think you gotta stay off that. Embrace the fact I won't brace myself for no downfall. Know they pray on that. If loving you will make me crazy, girl, then giving up on you will make a psychopath. I'm on my way, I wait out back.
Not a big fan of these wicks in every direction, but let's just give the market some time. Clearly it's confused. About to retest VWAP.
Shawty, is she worried if I might show? Damn, it's hard to care for a sight though. Out here with my mans in a night show. Drinking party, yeah, we keep the lights low. I'm in my mind all the way. Ice cold, what a nigga gotta say now. Sipping honey, we be mobbing through the night, oh yeah. Moving like we trapping out of Vando. I need.
It looks like it wants to set up for a bolt down, but let's just let it figure itself out. We'll know what's gonna happen. And again, profit target, risk to reward is, I think it's gonna be 602.57. I'm not. Yeah, we'll go 602.57 for right now. Now, if we get back above 603.71, this bolt down is more unlikely. If we get back above 603.71, this bolt down is unlikely. So we're testing magenta for the down for today.
Shawty wanna use me, yeah, yeah. Ay, run it up, I'm mobbing. None of your niggas they poppin'. Yeah, I know you do this often. Ay, I'm running out of options. I'm okay, I'm fine. Ay, I'ma swallow all my pride. Won't be nothing but a side piece. Oh, catching feelings with my pipe dream. Oh no.
Easy money, protect your trade, easy money. Oh my goodness, there it is. Let's see if we get okay, we broke 602. Okay. Okay. It's been a wonderful morning. You're welcome. It's been a wonderful morning. Oh my goodness. There we go. Protect your trade. Okay, trade protected. You can't lose from here. You cannot lose from here. Give a little bit of room for 1 or 2 green candles, right? But your trade's protected. You can't lose. I'd like it to stay inside of this purple channel here. Okay, if that's all they want to give us, then we have to watch out for this, then another one of these. That was a good little move for the morning. Little quick scalp. Little quick scalp, easy money right there. So here's why I was 75 you had 75 contracts on that? Oh man. Paper. Oh my god, I thought you had, I was like, dang, you got a lot of money. Okay, I want to review this last trade. So here's the thing. We saw this key level here, and we saw the bolt or the selling channel, and then we started seeing all these indecision and all these wicks right here. Once I saw we started falling a little bit lower, that's why I was like, you know what? This thing looks like it wants to bolt down, because I started seeing these rejection wicks right underneath this key level, and I knew if we got above that, the bolt couldn't happen anymore, right? That's no longer possible. So that's why, I mean, when you have easy I'm not gonna say easy, well yeah, that was kind of an easy setup. When you have easy setups like that, you got to learn how to identify them. And this is how I identified it, right? I saw the rejection underneath the key level. Look at all these wicks. That means it's telling me, nah, they're pushing it down. They want to get some more out of this. So yeah, it was an easy I could have got in earlier, But for some, I don't know what, my computer's acting funny right now. Okay. Now let's look to see if we touch VWAP, you know, and then do this thing that I just drew. Look at this beautiful, look, I mean, it doesn't get much better. Let's see what we do here at VWAP. Ideally, right, we like to see it reject right at this 603 to gain some strength to go up. That's the ideal. That's what we'd like to see, right? I'm trying to explain to you what the ideal setups look like. I'm just cleaning up the chart just a bit. We all see what's happening here. I'll move this original one. I'll just leave it. I got a little greedy on this take profit. I could have, I mean, always, you know, hindsight, you look, shoulda, woulda, coulda, but I mean, I knew the trade was protected. I knew I couldn't lose, so I let it run a little bit. If you took this, if you took this head right here, yeah. If you took this head, your trade is obviously well protected. But if you're waiting for this pullback, if you're waiting for this shoulder to form right here, there's nothing wrong with that, right? That is actually the ideal setup. Wait for the shoulder to form, and then before it, you know, pushes back up. All right, so if we don't necessarily follow this shoulder right here, I mean, this would be the ideal. If it stayed inside this blue for a little bit, that'd be ideal, but what are you gonna do? Let's see. I'm gonna clean up this chart just a tad. And then I'll redraw the shoulder, I guess. So we want to look for this, remember? So on the break of this blue, we're looking for magenta far down, and we're looking for the break of blue for the up. Right? Who didn't know that this was gonna happen? Who didn't know that? Well, let me not count my chickens before they hatch. Let me not count the chickens before they hatch, but come on. And again, this is just the ideal setup. This is the setup we want to look for. If we're to come all the way down here, President, stop. Lee is, you know what? You bring so much. You always make me laugh. Every day you make me laugh. You're good, Lee. You're good. Like I was saying, this is when we're looking for setups. Something like this is the ideal. This is the ideal setup. So if you're looking for a call, right? And because here's why you would be looking for calls, right? We see this strong momentum candle. We know we had the news on CPI or whatever it was. So you should be looking for your call entries. This is like thinking on a longer term scale. You know, like when we're day trading like this, we're looking at this stuff like we're hyper focused on each candle and each wick, and what does that wick mean? What does that candle mean? And trying to give meaning to certain things that don't really have that much meaning, but we're trying to make it fit a narrative that's in our head that we like, right? So, I mean, who didn't know that this was gonna happen? Who didn't know? Come on. I'm just kidding, but we try to fit a narrative in our head that we like, and then we try to make things reality that's not there, just because it fits something that we would like to, that feels comfortable in our own mind. So what I'm trying to express to you right now is that instead of wait for the setup that you're comfortable with. You don't have to go in just because you see a candle or just because you got a hunch. If the setup isn't there that you're comfortable with, then there's no trade. And there's nothing wrong with that. You know, I would have liked a little more significant pullback here. Okay, so if we're at this point here, this is what you gotta look out for now, right? So since it didn't pull back to where I'd like, you know, at least around here somewhere to 603.02, then your next setup is gonna look like this. Exactly. If you don't like the setup, then there is no setup. Let me clean up this chart just a bit because it looks a little confusing. Oh, I erased the whole cup. Okay. I need to wake up. But Lee, here's the thing with paper trading that you have to remind yourself is that paper trading, when you don't have anything on the line, it's easy to take risky trades and to win big and to let it ride or whatever, you know, whatever your strategy is. As soon as you open that wallet up, all your trading is going to change. As soon as you open that wallet up and you take a loss for the first time or maybe even 2 times, and you start getting in this like horrible rhythm of, number one, doubting yourself. Okay, hold on. So here, look here. So this head and shoulders is still possible because remember, it was this level here. 603, what did I say? 603.02 was the level. So I think what I had at first was like this, and like this. So a little hesitation up here at the top of blue. But like I always say, I don't know when certain movement's gonna happen. I can just tell you what it needs to look like. So this call scenario for this original head and shoulders that we had is still in play until we break below 60 around, I mean safely below 602.88 or 80 at this dotted line. It's still in play until we break this. Right? This, until we break this, is still in play. And that's what I'm trying to say is, like, every day I try to tell you guys that, number one, my drawings can't be, you know, 80% of the time. I'd say I get it 80% of the time. However, I'm just telling you what it needs to look like. I don't know when it's gonna look like that, but that's what it needs to look like. So this inverse head and shoulders is still in play until we break below this shoulder that I arbitrarily put here, but until we break this, it's still in play. Now, what you're contending with is this, right? Is, are we just bouncing in and out of blue? That's what you have to wonder. Are we just bouncing in and out of blue? But you'll know once we break below 603, this shoulder right here. That's when you'll know.
I know you heard some things. Look, I ain't perfect. I'm hurting, babe. That make 2 of us the way you purchase things. The surface level not serving us. I gotta let you in so you interpret things the way I meant. And may I vent based off the things you post online. I can't help but think you gotta stay off that. Embrace the fact I won't brace myself for no downfall. No, they pray on that. We see we're
battling at VWAP. We're battling at VWAP. So. Now, if you look at the break of blue scenario, right? It's, which I always say all the time, You got two options. You go in on break of blue and you wait for the retracement, or you just wait for the retracement itself. Those are your options on break of blue type scenario. And when I'm saying wait for retracement, I'm going to clean up the chart just a bit. I don't know. When I'm saying wait for retracement, what I mean is it breaks out of the blue, it comes back to retest the blue, or maybe this key level, and then continues off. And what you're contending with is, are we just in this blue, in the blue channel? So we had one break of blue here. Let me see. So whenever you have it where it's in between algos like this, I mean, I might need to slightly adjust. I might need to adjust it. You know, as we get more data, it gets easier. Let me adjust it a bit and see if it can make it a little more clear. And again, it's hard to do this stuff and okay, hold on. As far as Lee, let me answer your question really quick before I forget. Jensen Blue broke on the same time, so we could have been retesting Magenta then. No, I think the algo probably needs to be adjusted just a tad, if I'm honest. I think it just needs to be adjusted a tad, but I don't like to. I try not to adjust them because I know you all are relying on these, and so do I, right? We're relying on this, so I try not to adjust it. And if, you know, I can't, you know, every time, I try to make them as good as I could. And if I need to adjust it, I will. I don't think I need to adjust it just yet. I think this is just normal, you know, this is just the normal wiggle around VWAP. So it's mainly because we're around VWAP, that's why we're seeing this. Now we're going to see if this is a momentum candle. So we had this hammer candle with a maybe a continuation candle. So remember, if you took the break of blue over here, what do I say? You have to wait for the retracement, right? And then you collect after the retracement or start to move your profit target or your stop loss. Or you wait for it to break, retest, and then shoot off. Now, again, if you wait for the break, retest, and reject, if you're waiting for that, you're risking the fact that it could just shoot off and leave you behind. But, you know, that's the opportunity risk you're risking there. think I like this green better. I'm going to retire this magenta for now. I think it served its purpose for its time, but I think I'm going to retire that magenta. This green makes a lot more sense. Clean up this chart just a bit. Alright, so when we get to 6:04:24, that's when the cup is closed. That's officially when the cup is closed, right? And then, you know, maybe it'll be like that or something. But we still got a little bit of room to the 6:04 to the cup closed. And that's when you can expect your or that's when it should ideally start forming the handle. That's when it should start forming the handle. And also, I don't know if you guys were reading my messages last night. It was kind of late. Sorry about that. When I was talking about the angle of approach, right? So if you, I don't know, we'll zoom out just a bit. Look how steep the angle is here. It's a very steep angle. So whenever you get angles steep like this, then that means continuation is more likely. Either one of two things is going to happen whenever you get a steep buying channel or selling channel like this. One of two things is going to happen. It's steep for a bolt, or I'm going to little lesson real quick. I hate to do this in the middle of the day or in the session, but real quick. So it's either steep for this reason for a bolt, or it's steep because it's setting up this. It's steep because of head and shoulder. So remember that. Whenever we see steep buying or selling channels, that's normally what that indicates. You know, sometimes you gotta zoom out to look at the bigger picture to make sure you're reading the room right. All right, Jabuni. Is it Jabuni? I think it's Jabuni. It's a funny name. All right, now we're at where the handle should, ideally where the handle should be forming, right? So if you took the break of blue over here, right? We knew break of blue. If you took this one, it still worked. Why? Because I always tell you, you got to survive the retracement. This is a classic example of what I'm talking about. So it broke the blue, survive retracement, and then you collect. You know where your profit target was on this. It was exactly where I put it. So now ideally we'd like to see a handle form here. This is the ideal setup for the handle to form. So you can look at it. Let me now that we have more data, it looks a little more clear. Like that, not like that, and like something like that, right? So ideally we want the handle to form here. This is the ideal setup. If it happens, great. If it doesn't, what are you gonna do? But what we did do is at minimum hit the profit target. This is easy money, right? Especially when I told you, you see the rejection wick here, the hammer candle, then you see a continuation candle here. We already knew this was going to happen. So if it just shoots up from here, all right, we're collecting. If not, you know you're protected. Your trade is protected. Because, you know, we're expecting a handle, so you protect your trade with the expectation of a handle. Now, if you can survive the handle, good on you. But if it just shoots out and it just continues up, then you miss out on the opportunity. And we can't have FOMO for that type of stuff. That's part of the game. Because FOMO is going to lead you to gamble. But today, so far, easy trading day. Today was an easy trading day. Okay, cool. See, that was a smart play, right? So I'm not sure when he took his, I'm assuming he bought a call. I'm not sure when he bought the call, but he, number one, had the patience to hold, right, for the retracement. And when you hit your profit target, you take some off the table, right? So he's going to take some off the table here. And then once it gets to a certain level of where his other contracts aren't going to be profitable, then he'll either, you know, maybe take a little bit of gain or break even on those, but he's going to give it at least some room for the retracement to collect on those other contracts. Yeah, today was kind of, I mean, so far today was an easy day. It's just straightforward. I'm not gonna lie, I had a little difficulty identifying some of these algos early on, but look at this money. Look at the money we printed today. And remember, I told you that this inverse head and shoulders was still valid until we got down to 602.91 around here. It was still valid. So if you did buy a call expecting it, or, you know, you had to, your exit would have been around wherever my dotted line is right now. Look at the money we printed today. So I went in on, as soon as I said this hammer candle, this rejection wick off the green, and this, as soon as I said that, well, I went in on this one. But then I was like, all right, let me tell the Discord when I saw this. So this was an easy trade as well. I wouldn't call this head and shoulders, even though you know, there could be an argument for it, right? There could be an argument for it. But because of, you know, it didn't dig as far as I would have liked it to go. I'll just leave this as a cup and handle. Now we got to see what's the next cup we're gonna close. Is it gonna be this one way up here, or maybe this one right here? Here, let me put a target. This would be the next target right here. So now we're gonna see. You see how it all works together now? Why I use past data? You have to. You just simply have to. But so now we want to see if we're gonna have this. Watch. Like that, and then like that. Okay, we got this yellow here now. There's probably a half channel right here. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see what's gonna happen. Yeah, today was an easy day. Still collecting. and I'll probably exit the position once I break this this yellow. So early on, okay, since I think mostly everyone's all right. Listen, when I do the win report at the end of the session, I'm just gonna type in the magenta because we used the magenta early on. Yeah, so I'm gonna type in magenta when I say puts magenta, and then the calls blue, obvious easy wins. But this is how it should be. This is the idea. I think we went through, maybe was it yesterday, the day before? It was rough. It was a really rough day. You know, it just was rough. It was a rough day to trade because it was like, I think that slow grind up, and you know, there's days like that, but this is the ideal. You know, how it's just respecting all the algos. They're all being respected, and this makes it easy. Okay, yeah, yesterday was tough. But here's the thing, even if we did take losses yesterday, as long as you have your risk management in place and your rules in place, like, okay, I took 3 L's or 2 L's, whatever your risk plan is. I took these L's. I respected my stop losses, and you call it a day. And then you wake up the next day, you come to work, and you do the same thing. You don't let emotion get involved, and then you see what happens, right? Because trading, you're not going to win every day. It's just not a thing. But as long as you stick to your rules, you stay consistent, you know, whatever losses you took yesterday, you should have made up, or you know, could have possibly made up today and then some. But just to break a blue. Just this blue. That's why I was trying to tell everyone in the Discord. So I was like, look, here's a hammer candle rejection, and here's a continuation. I was because I don't want to tell you buy call here, right? I don't want to do that because I'm here to tell you what the risk management is. But when I'm telling you certain things, you kind of got to pick up on it. And that's why I was telling you, technically this inverse head and shoulders is still in play. There's rules to this, right? You know, sometimes they break the rules because they're the market makers, and they, you know, or news will come out, and, you know, Donald Trump or Elon, whoever is the cool guy of the day is going to say something, and it's going to throw things in a other direction. But for the most part, you know, there's rules to this, and it's all based on, in my opinion, it's based on momentum. And you see we're getting some wicks here, right? Remember we put this here, we want to see it now. This cup is closed here, this cup from here to here, this one closed, so a pullback here wouldn't be out of the ordinary. Or we're gonna see if they want to close another cup. Let's see if they go all the way to 606. That'll be amazing. Okay, but if they don't, here's what we need to look out for. Watch. Let's say we break out of this yellow. I think this yellow is pretty solid. Now we want to look for the other way, right? Because we got a 50-50 shot, one of two ways. So now we need to look out to see if this is going to be a shoulder, this is forming a head, and then the other shoulder on the break of this green here. That's our setup for the next way. But that won't even be in play until minimum we have to break this yellow. Minimum. This break of blue has been absolutely amazing today. Absolutely amazing. This is retirement. You can retire on this one play right here. Oh my goodness. Just straight arrow up. This was a absolutely amazing trade. Nice. So, and here's another thing. If we want to make you got to be willing to hold the contracts. If you want the 20-minute move, the 30-minute move, the hour-long move, you got to hold it for that amount of time, right? We can't be in and out just, you can't let one or two red or green candles scare you out. That's why I'm trying to add in, that's why I went a little more in depth on this channel here, this yellow, to give you some guardrails to at least know where the risk is or where the possibility is for some retracement, stuff like that. I'm trying to add in these guardrails so you know your profit, right? As long as, when we broke this blue, as long as we're in this yellow, there's nothing, you're still in the trade, as long as you're still inside this yellow. And now that you have, that little bit of information, you should be trailing your stops along the yellow. Or, not that you should be, but this is the technique I use. So I figure out what the buying channel is. I figure out what the break of blue it was for this morning. It broke blue. Even though it broke blue here, 84% rule. I figured it was going to happen. I figured it was going to happen from this hammer candle. And then the momentum candles when I confirmed it for everyone else. And then I started trailing up this yellow. And this is why the indicators, they can only help with so much. They can only help with so much. And sometimes the indicators actually work against you. Because it'll tell you one thing and then a certain order block will be hit. It'll trigger a whole bunch of sales or buys, whatever the order block is, and then that indicator will all of a sudden switch it up on you. So I tend to go off of price. That's why I'm always drawing resistance or support and pathways, stuff like that, because it's all about where the price is. Alright, so now I'm tightening my stop along this yellow. And I'm not going to get greedy here. It could, let's say, if it wants to just do this right here and continue, that's fine. If it wants to, a little bit of retracement and continuation, that's fine. I'm going to take profit on break of yellow, because that's just what I'm going to do. Good trade for me. Good trade. Excellent trade. But now you have to be asking yourself, is this uptrend so strong that this bear cycle is just going to be weak? That the bear cycle is just going to be, just like that. Who knows? We don't know. But, and I don't want to be greedy. I'm going to take my profit. I secured something for the day, and I can go enjoy the rest of my day. Don't have to sit here all, 6 hours. And also, you're going to get the best moves in the morning. That's just what it is. By 11 Eastern, the compression starts and things start to die off, things like that. Alright, let's see what we got. I mean, I'm as far as actual trading, I'm probably done for the day. There's no reason for me to trade anymore. I'm done for the day. I'm still gonna chart, but as far as actual trading, don't need to gamble anymore.
Shawty send me your location, 120 on the freeway speeding. Big checks, blue pills, I'm feeding. Young boy finna do my thing. Get the FBI, put a case on me. Feel like everything okay on me. Shawty, hold on, have faith in me. You don't wanna. No, I gotta. But I gotta.
And now let's say you're betting on this shoulder ahead. Let's say you're betting on this. If you go in on the break of this yellow, then your stop loss has to be at the top, right? At the peak. So there's your risk to reward there. You got to figure that out. But we're in such a strong uptrend. Do you really want to fight the trend now? Do you really want to fight the trend now? Let's see what we got. Let's see what they got in store for us. Today's a good day. Today was an excellent day. And so I was telling you, what if we have a weak ass bear cycle and it just continues up, right? That was the risk I took, but I took my money. I'm fine with it. I'm fine with it. Because what I don't know is the future, but I know what it needs to look like. And if this was closing this cup, remember this original cup we had right here, and then like this, I would like a deeper pull, right? I would like a deeper pullback before I continue going long. If I'm betting on this cup and handle, I got my money, the cup closed, all right, cool. Now if I need to go back in, I'm gonna wait for this flexion point. But we can also see we're dancing at key level here, 604.79 or 76. Sorry. Now you could say, okay, so here was your cup and this is your handle. It could be, but it's, I like deeper structure. And if I miss it, then I miss it. No big deal. I would like it to like this. That'd be the ideal for me. This is the setup I like. I'd like to take this time to give a shout out to Alibaba's in Escondido, San Diego. The most amazing Mediterranean food you've ever had. If you're in San Diego area, please visit Alibaba Escondido. The food's amazing. The food is absolutely phenomenal. Yeah, I don't need to trade anymore. I'm done. Oh man. We had this good move to the downside here, and then we had this break of blue here. Been a good day. That's all we need. That's all we really need. 3 trades for the day should be your max. You shouldn't be trading more than that. If you're trading more than that, you're probably doing something wrong. And now we see compression time coming in. Let's check a higher time frame. So on the 5-minute, look what we have right here. Look at this 5-minute, right? $605. Oh, you're right there. 605 is right there. Don't get greedy. Don't get greedy. I mean, you can do what you want, but something about securing profit is. Oh, you already secured profit. You already secured profit. Okay, good. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Okay, you're holding out for that 605? Dang. I like it. But are you willing to hold out? Like, let's say this inverse head and shoulders on the 5-minute plays out. Are you willing to hold it that long? You could always just set your alerts, or what do you have? Profit target? Okay, good. Yeah. Take the money and go, dude. We had a good day today. We had a very good day today. You can't ask for a better. It doesn't get any more clear than what we did, right? We saw what we saw this. That was an easy play, and then we also saw this one right here. That was an easy play. All right, this 5 minutes looking pretty interesting. I'd like it to dig down just a little bit more. No, I think the Bulls, they got it. I mean, with this candle right here, this is some prior warning. So on a much, if you zoom out just a bit, which I was trying to explain yesterday, or last night rather, what you want to look for is an overall. It went like this, it went like this, and then, like, you know, are we? That's what you're looking out for, to see if we're this longer term bolt up. Or, right? Remember from this morning, the other option is, are we just forming a head? That's what we need to figure. But we'll get to that bridge after we cross it. That's not how the saying goes, but it sounds funny like that. We'll get to that bridge after we cross it. Actually, I like that. I'm gonna start using that from now on. People be like, "What? You thought you sounded smart?" Alright, just to remind everybody, the market likes to fake everybody out. They know exactly what we're thinking. They see the same patterns, they see the indicators, they know, right? So you always got to be aware of that. And once those order blocks hit, you have to be looking out for a shoulder, a head, another shoulder, which may come later on in the day. So don't be hyper focused on one thing. Just wait for the setup. The setup that is, you know, that you're comfortable with. Because then you have to worry about, do we have a shoulder, a head, the other shoulder? I'd like it to dig a little bit deeper, but if it doesn't, then it doesn't. So this shoulder, how long did it take? It took from 8:48 to 9:22. So then, you know, give it that same grace. And whenever you see coiling up like this, compression like this, it's ready to spring in a direction. It's getting ready for the spring in a direction. And then once that direction presents itself, we look for the opportunity on the setup and we go in, right? Going in would look, let's say we're going, here, let me clean up the chart just a bit. So for the upside, for me, I would like it to retest this green before it shoots up. And I know if we break through the green, then I'm most likely looking for puts. If I break this green, this one down here, I'm most likely looking for puts. So to me, this green's gonna be a thing. And if it never tests green again, then I'm gonna have to reevaluate. And what would I do? I would wait to see. Okay, it's already doing it, or maybe I'm gonna wait for that. We're about to hit 605. Oh, Gabooni, it was a 1 cent away. Gabooni, take your profit. 605. Man, we had such a good day. Today was a good day. Can't ask for anything better. And if we get above this comfortably, you know, the next target looks like 606. Major target. There's a couple other levels right here. There's a couple other levels in the way. No, take your profit, dude. Take your profit. Look, they gave you 605. Now you're asking for too much. Okay, so on the 5 minute, we did break this blue. Man. We did break the blue on the 5 minute. I just like to see a deeper pullback. That's just me. Like, I don't want to buy a call at the top. I just don't want to do that. Right? I need to see some, you know, some type of retracement and continuation. I don't want to buy a call at the top. Yeah, we're struggling at this 604.70 or what? 604.76. Yeah, it's gonna break one way or the other. We know that. It's probably another one. Okay, I'm gonna adjust this blue now that we're not it's not in play as of right now. I'm gonna adjust it just a tad. Yeah, not too much, but just so it's something usable. Okay, I like that a little bit better. Okay. So I want to see another blue form. I'd put this here late, so if it does shoot up, I'm not going to take credit for this because I put this here late.
I think that you forgot, but what you saw in me. Hard to love, but please don't be the one who got away. Just the humming, talking when I come and humming. Hate the fact that we ain't spoken in some weeks. Blood on hands, but we just rinse it and repeat. Let's speak a language that we both know how to read. See, baby, all the time, I'm on way. Come on, leave it down, I'm on my way. Let me get some money, I'm on my way.
And this is the good part about having rules and having a system and a strategy, is that we know that we're not even looking for puts minimum until we break this green. Until we break the green, we're not looking for puts, and we want to see a strong selling channel. Like this purple, we want to see a selling channel, because the selling channel, what does that give us? We went over it, but I'll go over it again. The selling channel gives us the opportunity for continuation. So it's not just, oh, it broke green. We want to see the structure that we want. We want to see the setup. I think they're going to give you your 605. Here it is. They're going to give you your 605, Gabuni. What if it hits 605? Well, if you have a take profit, it's automatically going to fill the order, but what if it just shoots up? Yeah, take your money, take your wins. Don't just sit here. Yeah, if it runs, that'll be crazy if it runs. Why don't you just use a stop loss? Just put a reasonable stop loss and then take off the take profit. But Lee, if you're up, leave for the day. Take the money, and the more you sit here and look at these candles, the more you're gonna FOMO. It's just, I don't recommend not taking profit. Take the profit and go. And 605. Whew. There it is. There it is, 605 in the run. Man, everyone did excellent today. I'm extremely happy. Today was a good day. We had a great day today. Jabuni had a great day. Lee had a great day. Oh man, we had a good day today. Yeah, good job, man. Is it G Booney or G Booney? The hard G or the soft G? Okay, G Booney. Got it. Gibooney. Where's that from? That's funny. I like it. Louisiana. I'm guessing Louisiana. Oh, okay. Dang, you've been holding on to that name for a long time. It sounds like a Louisiana name. Oh, true. Yeah, that username will always be available. I promise you. That's yours forever. Look, it hit 605 and immediately retreated. You got your wish. Alright, now let's see if we form the selling channel. Alright. Got a selling channel going. I'd like one more candle. All right, brother. Have a good day, man. I'm glad you're here with us. Yeah, tomorrow's another day. Have a good one, bud. Oh, I needed one more candle for that selling channel to form. I'll extend this just a little bit. Selling channel didn't form. Not yet. Did not form. Okay, I'm gonna spend another few minutes on here, and then I have an appointment. I'm gonna handle the appointment. I'll check back in and see where we're at. So remember, we had two scenarios, right? We had the cup handle, and then we had the shoulder, head, other shoulder. So those are our scenarios. So this is what you're looking out for. If I'm not here and you still want to trade, yeah, we're hovering at this 604.76. And this is exactly why we wait for, hold on, before you go, Lee, this is exactly why we wait for the setup, so you don't get caught inside a chop. This is why we wait for the setup. The setup looks like minimum break of green for the puts, and we want to see for the calls, because we've been hovering here, we want to see a break and a retest, right? Something like that. But anyways, okay, yeah, you go. I'm sorry, I told you to wait. That's funny. Bye, Lee. Have a good day. Yeah, I'm gonna get out of here soon. Yeah, have a good one. Let me know when you start trading in your actual account. Let me know when you actually start that, or when you plan to. How much do you want to accumulate in your paper account before you start throwing out some real money? Whatever the energy you had to build that account to where it is now, if you keep that energy, you'll be fine. The only thing is the mental game starts to come into play once you open up your wallet. Everything changes. Everything changes when you open that wallet and you get that first loss. Change your whole life. You'll figure out who you are. Yeah, there's no trade here. There's no trading here. Because if you were to buy a call right now, you'd be guessing. You'd just be guessing. I mean, it could be, you know, like I've been saying, this cup and handle, but I would like to see just deeper. I like to see it dig a little bit deeper for that handle. Okay, YouTube. That's been my time. We had a great day today. If you're interested in learning how to do this, join the Discord. Send me an email to LiveSPYTrading@gmail.com and we'll get you sorted out. Have a good day.